Costa Rica is known for ecotourism, thanks to its volcanoes, natural beauty, abundant wildlife, and delicious coffee. In this video, I'm going to share with you what I consider to be the perfect day in Costa Rica because it encompasses all of these things. An excursion that includes a tour of a volcano, a coffee farm, a waterfall garden, and nature preserve. I'm also going to share some insider tips about each destination to help you maximize your time and money. So let's get to it. Located in Alajuela province, Hacienda Doka is about 16 kilometers or 10 miles from the San Jose International Airport. Doka is a family-owned coffee estate located on the slopes of the Poás Volcano. They have been producing high-quality coffee for over 80 years, spanning 3 generations. Doka offers a variety of tour options that take you through the entire coffee production process from seed to cup. This includes the coffee farm, the wet and dry mills, and the roasting facilities. It is a stunning property with plenty of Instagram-worthy places for taking selfies. During a recent visit, we had an excellent bilingual tour guide who was very knowledgeable about the entire process. The tour took about an hour and a half. Hacienda Doka has a restaurant and a coffee bar, and depending on which tour you book, a breakfast or lunch buffet can be included. We did not have a meal included in our tour, but we still had access to the coffee bar. Pro tip, you will be meeting your tour guide in front of the restaurant, so our group ended up just going and sampling some of the coffees while we were waiting, but make sure that you don't overdo it because the tour starts with a free sample of iced coffee. And so you don't want to have the jitters like one of my friends in the group. Like any good tour, it does end in the gift shop where you will get access to more coffee samples and you'll get to try some of the other edible items. I really enjoyed the chocolate covered coconut. They also had other chocolate covered fruits, nuts, and coffee beans. I admit I am a latte lover and a bit of a coffee snob, and the Del Patio blend was one of the only coffees I've ever been able to drink completely black with no cream, no sugar, nothing, just in its natural form, and it was delicious. While you're in the gift shop, don't be like me. If you see something that you like, make sure you go ahead and buy it. I was thinking about how much stuff was in my carry-on, so I was like, oh, I'll just go home and I'll buy it online, but don't do that because they do have a website, but it does not have as extensive of offerings as what they have in the store. And in the store, they do offer free shipping back to the continental US, so definitely take advantage of that. After leaving Hacienda Doka, we drove about 28 kilometers or 17 and a half miles to the Paz Waterfall Gardens Nature Park and Wildlife Refuge. According to their website, it is the #1 most visited privately owned ecological attraction in the country. The property boasts a 5-star boutique hotel called the Peace Lodge. I did not have a chance to visit it while I was there, but it looks super impressive on the website. The nature park includes 5 waterfalls and 3.5 kilometers of cloud and rainforest hiking trails. It also features the largest animal sanctuary in Costa Rica with over 100 species. This includes an aviary featuring tropical birds, a live butterfly observatory with a section featuring taxidermied insects. They also have a sloth habitat, monkeys, snakes, frogs, and my favorite, the big cats. After visiting the animals, we stopped for lunch at the Colibris restaurant. It offers an expansive buffet, including traditional Costa Rican dishes and international fare, as well as some of the typical items that you'd expect to see on a buffet like pizza, pasta, a salad bar, and a variety of desserts. And if you have dietary restrictions, you should still be okay. We had a vegetarian and a vegan in our group, and they both were able to find plenty of items, so you should definitely be able to find something to your liking. After lunch, we headed to the waterfall garden where we saw 3 of the 5 waterfalls before heading out for our next destination. Side note, the waterfall garden has a lot of stairs, so it could be challenging for anyone with mobility issues. Also, be sure to bring a rain jacket unless you don't mind getting wet. We spent a few hours at La Paz, but honestly, you could spend an entire day there. We actually just ended up leaving early because we wanted to make it to the Volcano Poás National Park before it closed. It's a 21 kilometer or 13-mile drive to the Poás Volcano National Park. Once you arrive, it's about 300 meters from the parking lot to the mirador where you could view the volcano. That's the equivalent of walking about 2.5 football fields uphill. But the trail is flat and the elevation is graduated, so you don't really feel it. Once you get to the top, the view is absolutely breathtaking. Volcán Poás is one of 6 active volcanoes in Costa Rica, and the crater is one of the largest in the world. If you're someone who's prone to altitude sickness, know that there are paramedics at the viewing station just in case. Also, since the volcano is active, you can smell sulfur and other gases. For these reasons, visitors' time is limited. We spent about 15 minutes at the viewing station, then we decided to check out the adjacent lagoon. Unlike the volcano, the trail to the lagoon is not graduated, so you will feel the incline. Now, I'm in pretty good shape. I cycle about 5 days a week and maintain an active lifestyle, and I had a rough time getting to the top at my normal walking pace. The air is pretty thin up there, and I actually had to stop and catch my breath a few times, but once I got up to the top, I was fine. And once again, the views did not disappoint. Laguna Botos is an old volcanic crater that is now a beautiful turquoise lake surrounded by flowers and other natural vegetation. The viewing station is not always open, so you want to double check the park's website before you go. So here are some of the insider tips for visiting Volcán Poás. The mouth of the volcano can only be seen under perfect weather conditions, so you want to plan your trip accordingly. We originally planned to see the volcano first, but we ended up having to rearrange our schedule because the weather just wasn't cooperating. Check the weather forecast before purchasing your excursion tickets, and the day of the trip, be sure to check the weather app on your phone. You should also monitor the webcam on the University of Costa Rica's website before heading to the volcano. I visited Costa Rica in December of 2024 when I was taking Spanish classes at a local language institute, and the tour that I took was arranged by the school, but there are several private tour providers, including Viator, that also offer this excursion. Some include multiple meals or bottled water or a local tour guide, and the pricing varies dramatically. So definitely do your homework, read the fine print so you can make sure that you select the right tour for what you're interested in, and of course one that fits your budget. Something else that's important to note about this excursion is that you could purchase each of these tickets individually and just kind of go it on your own if you're thinking about renting a car. But it's important to note that while things look pretty close together on a map, the ways to get there are pretty convoluted. You're going to be traveling up a mountain. The road conditions are not always the best. And in fact, our bus actually had to pull off onto the shoulder several times for oncoming traffic to pass. Also, between the waterfall garden and the volcano, we actually had to stop because there were cows in the road trying to cross from one pasture to the other. So just budget plenty of extra time and know that if you're planning on renting a car, the driving conditions really are not ideal. I hope you found this information helpful, and I hope you have a perfect day in Costa Rica. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.